Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. Comedian Eddie Griffin is back at it again at his own show, NNN, talking all about pop culture and politics. Lately, Griffin has been extremely vocal when it comes to this upcoming election, even stating he's casting his vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. On this latest installment, the comedian said he'd rather vote for the crook as opposed to the liar. Griffin would highlight a claim from Candace Owens, which accuses Kamala Harris of misrepresenting her family background in order to fit a narrative that would resonate with American voters.
Kamala Harris. Yeah, that's her name. Kamala Harris. This woman wanna play black so bad, she went and erased her grandmama and replaced her grandmama. Her real grandmama is of Irish descent.
Grandma Beryl died in 1960, 4 years before Kamala Harris was born.
But in her book, she got a picture standing next to this dead woman with a smile on her face. Kamala Harris. That's what I said. That's that. She's a lying stankin'. How you gonna vote for a lying stankin'?
Before we get started, elections are about putting people in office who will fight for you. People who will stand on business about the issues important to you. Gun violence is a leading cause in death in the United States, especially in communities of color, and we need urgent action. On behalf of HBCU Green Fund, get out and vote to ensure your voice is heard and your values are represented. Vote early or on Election Day. Last month, after taking a look at Vice President Kamala Harris's 2019 memoir, The Truths We Hold, Candace Owens stated Harris published a photo of herself with a black-looking grandmother, despite the fact that her grandmother had died 4 years before Harris was born. Owens would say in a YouTube video live, "How the heck does a person who is the Vice President of the United States pass off a book claiming that these people are her black relatives and nobody bats an eyelash or even does a peripheral search to recognize that the woman that she put forth is implausibly her grandmother?" The day after the video went live, Owens would claim Harris lied in her book by presenting a mysterious black woman as her grandmother, stating that she secured birth and death certificates for proof. However, it has been proven that the evidence Owens used to suggest Harris's grandmother died in 1960 actually refers to a person born in a different year with a different last name. It's been reported that a woman born in St. Anne who went by the name Beryl Christie died in 1960. Beryl Christie shares the first name of Harris's actual grandmother, Beryl Finnegan, who died in 1995. When Owens took to YouTube to share this news to her followers, she was believed by the majority, despite spreading misinformation. Eddie Griffin, who would see Owens' commentary calling out Harris and would share her talking points, despite them being false. So what do you guys think about Eddie Griffin calling out Kamala Harris? Let us know in the comments below. Now, a lot of you have been looking for Danielle, and I am so excited to say that we are working on something special with her in the Bahamas. And just to give you all a sneak peek, I have rising comedian Quay calling to the show to talk all about his upcoming stand-up comedy show on October 13th in the Bahamas. Now, this show is featuring comedians such as Rennie, Mothers International, and Finn, so I'm super excited to talk all about it. Quay, welcome to the show. How are you doing? And I see us matching. We're matching.
Yeah, we the green vibes. The green vibes. It's all about, wealth, money. I speak it for you. Lift your hands and receive it. Amen. 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 But yeah, man, over here in the Bahamas, super excited for what is to come. And it's a pleasure to be here. I follow you all through Danielle. She's an amazing asset to the creative and entrepreneurial community here. So it's great to be popping in on something that she's dominating in.
Absolutely. No, and we appreciate you being here and appreciate your support as well. Now, I want our audience to learn a little bit about you. So let's take it back to the beginning just a little bit. How did you get into comedy?
Okay, so those who know me know I was very quiet and shy growing up my whole life. And then in 2010, the Old Spice commercial, I did a spoof of it. I remade it, but I put a little Bahamian Bahamas flair on it. And a very popular comedic group here saw it, and he reached out to me and he gave me the opportunity to join his group. And I always tell people your environment shape who you are. So when you're around a bunch of clowns or persons who tell jokes all the time and, have fun all the time, you start to take shape of that environment. So thanks to him, I was able to learn the tricks of the trade on being on stage, for acting, for being witty, for being funny all the time. And that kind of shaped my future when I got into hosting and stand-up comedy and television and acting and everything. So back in 2010, the shy guy was introduced to a new space and broke out of his shell, and it just went up from there.
Absolutely. You've continued to blossom, and that's why they say, it takes a community, it takes a group around you to reach these places. Now, obviously, we're here in the US, and some people may not even know what it's like. So, what is the comedy scene like in the Bahamas?
Well, laughter is a universal language. So everywhere you go, you will find persons who just want to spread light and love and laughter, because laughter is so important. You have persons that are naturally just gifted in their craft. But here in the Bahamas, we have so many talented actors, writers, producers, and comedians. And everybody have their different niche. They have their different style. And, we come together sometimes to do some collaborative work, or everybody's in their own respective pockets just doing their content. And I think it's a common goal always to make people laugh or to make light of any heavy situations that might be happening in the country or around us. But it's a strong community, and everybody is pushing and fighting to go beyond themselves, go beyond the Bahamas, because the Bahamas is we call it a little rock. It's a chain of islands, 700 islands, rocks, and keys. But our goal, our desire is to go bigger than we even think. So we always challenge ourselves.
Absolutely. Now, going from, creating a spoof to being around this comedy community that's helped you grow, what is your material like? What can people expect from material? What are your jokes? What do you focus on when you are on stage?
So if you've never been to the Bahamas, I can tell you, Bahamians are one of the funniest, colorful people you'll ever meet. We don't take life serious, and we say this with our heart. The Bahamas is not a real place. It's because everywhere you look, there's something that makes you go, what? What is happening? So you get material all day, every day. Some of it is just creative work on something you're trying to start. Others is just making light, like I said, of things that happen in the country. But comedy, it's universal. I think just like, I'll say names like Trevor Noah, he takes like Africa and he introduced it to the American demographic. So I think we do the same, or we're capable of doing the same, and we push and we create content and we continue to grow until we can teach the Bahamas, teach the world who the Bahamas is. Everybody comes from around the world to vacation here, but after you come off the boat for that 5-6 hours, you don't really know what happens here. And hopefully, with my material, I can teach the world why the Bahamas is not really a real place.
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense. And like you said, especially being able to get that experience through your lens. And a lot of time we do see comedians be able to do that on stage, or even telling me, my experience. So being able to get that, I think that gives us a different perspective. Now, given your success, that we've seen over the years, what led you to having this stand-up comedy show?
So, fun fact about me, I am an actor, band host, I have TV shows, I've featured in movies, I've been on tour, but stand-up comedy is like fifth on my list. If you ask me to do stand-up, I'll probably turn it down quicker than if you ask me to host an event. But last year, September, I was on a film set in Tampa, Florida for The Pages of My Heart 2, and the producer is a Bahamian. So he said, hey, after we were finished filming, he said, hey, if you ever think about doing stand-up, I will come over and I will produce it for you and put it on streaming platforms. We already have our movies on streaming platforms. We have the market. I will do that for you because, I'm trying to pull my people up with me. And after some thought, I said, all right, let's do it. So I picked the date and we went with it. And he took my vision. He stayed true to his word, and then he expanded on it by adding some other comedians on the program.
Absolutely. Now, the thing that I love that you said is like you took some time to think about it. It wasn't just like an immediate like jumping to it so it shows like this is a reason for people to get behind it and know that you really care about it, because you knew it was number 5 on your list. So you're like, hey, I'm gonna take my time. Like, I appreciate the offer, but let me take the time to think this through. So this is obviously something to support. Can you tell our audience, how can we support this show so that, you know, whether you're here or in the Bahamas, we're able to provide that to you all?
So wherever you are, world, you can support, first of all, by checking out my content at Dasquay, DASQUAY, on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Also, you can support Rennie, who is from New York. A lot of persons know Rennie. He's going to be opening, and he's my featured headliner. I followed him my whole life growing up. So now to share the stage with him, I'm geeking. I'm low-key geeking. Follow Fen, Mullers. But once you go on my page, you'll see the promotions. You'll be able to follow these guys. And secondly, this comedy special is being produced by New Vision Film from Tampa, Florida. And they're going to film it, produce it, and put it on streaming platforms. So if you have any streaming platforms, stay abreast of my pages. You will see which platforms it will go on, and just watch it and have a laugh. Like I said, laughter is universal. Laughter is good. A lot of hard things, hard days, a lot of, you know, low nights, but laughter can definitely pick you up. And that's my goal. I just want to make you laugh, make you smile, and show the world what the Bahamas has to offer.
And we really need a lot of that laughter. My heart goes to people out in Florida. I know right now there's a hurricane coming that way. So I know this is right on time. Obviously, we know that's a real event, but even after going through that, or while some people are going through that, it's good to have something to make you feel good and laugh. So thank you so much for doing this. And for most, thank you for joining us today and being able to share this with our audience.
Pleasure. All right,
Absolutely.
So the color for next week is purple.
Oh, got it. Let me type it right.
I'll send the email. I got it.
Okay, sounds good. Nice meeting you. And again, thank you so much. And we'll see you more on and you can follow him at Quay on Instagram. Thank you, Quay.
Bless.
Thank you again, Quay, for joining me. And I hope that you all not only enjoyed today's show regarding Eddie Griffin's take on Kamala Harris, but also that it challenges you to do your own research with elections right around the corner. Remember, your vote is your voice. On behalf of HBCU Green Fund, get loud about issues that impact your community. Vote early or on Election Day, November 5th. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing right here to our YouTube channel. Check out Hypers Club for all your cool and original merchandise and content. And for our YouTube viewers, if you like this story, send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.